Good morning, students. Myself, Rajkumar Meena, Assistant Professor in English, Department of English, BSR Arts College, Alva. Today, we are dealing with a topic which is related to the course of BA Part First Year, Paper First of English Literature with Unit A. As the earlier videos which were shared, in which we describe and discuss about sonnets, quality of Shakespearean sonnets, and how it is differ from another kind of poetry. In the same way, we are now going to discuss a new sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, The Marriage of Two Minds. Before introduction to the poem, we have a brief introduction to the poet as per easy to understanding the theme of the poem. As we know, this sonnet is also written by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is one of the greatest writer in English language and also renowned as world great dramatist. Shakespeare was born and raised in Stratford upon Avon in Warwickshire. He was born in he was born on 26th of April 1564 in Warwickshire, and at the age of 18 he was married to Anna Hathaway, with whom he had 3 children. He was also rewarded and awarded by many prizes, but most often he was called as England's national poet and nicknamed as Bard of Avon. Shakespearean era was also known for its drama. As we know, it is the golden age of English literature where all spheres of literature, especially English literature, spread and generates new horizons. It seems writing poetry was something he greatly enjoyed and did mainly for himself. In the Shakespearean era, it was very fashionable to write drama, but it was very less fashion to write poetry. Here, while talking about Shakespeare's sonnets, we list up about that Shakespeare has written Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets in all. Out of these, 125 are addressed to a young man, 28 are addressed to a dark lady, and 2 were for conventional style. Sonnets were first introduced by by Petrarch in Italy, Walt and Surrey brought the sonnets into England. Uh, the term sonnet was etymologically means that short lyrical poem of 14 lines having a rhyming scheme. While classifying sonnets, we can mainly classify sonnets into two forms. First, Petrarchan form of sonnet or traditional form of sonnet. Second one, Shakespearean sonnet or English sonnet. Petrarch was one of the earliest sonnet writer in Italy, as we know. Walt and Surrey brought the sonnets into England. Before it, they was not introduced in England. Some of the quality of Petrarch sonnet are as per. The Petrarch sonnet was a poem of 14 lines divided into two parts. One was called as octave, second one was called as sestive. Surrey made a certain structural change in the sonnet and he divided 14th line into three quatrains with a couplet. What generally the Petrarchan form of sonnet, which was later used now so splendidly by John Milton. Shakespeare also made a little bit change in the form of sonnet. He brought a new form of sonnet which was introduced as Shakespearean form of sonnet. Some of the quality of Shakespearean sonnet are 14th line were divided in three quatrains with different rhyming scheme and a couplet. We can also call it as a concluding couplet. This became the final type of English sonnet, the essay, the easiest form of the three quatrains and a couplet independently rhymed. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets in all. The first 126 sonnets are addressed to a handsome youth. The next 26 sonnets are addressed to a dark mistress, and the last two sonnets are just a conventional exercise. Today, we are going to discuss sonnet number 116, The Marriage of Two Minds. Before it, we have a just glimpse of introduction to the sonnet. Shakespeare, who wrote it 154 sonnets on different themes, styles, emotions, and describe the human emotions such as love, such as marriage, such as faith, such as immortality in his sonnets. It was a kind of a showing respect or showing love towards his friend to whom these sonnets were addressed. In this sonnet, Shakespeare speaks about the constancy of a true love. Shakespeare says that true love never changes. It always firm and constant. It is never affected by time, place, and circumstances. Or we can say that it is immortal. It cannot be decay, it cannot be decomposed, or it cannot be declined from the hearts of lovers. In the developing of the consistency of love, Shakespeare takes help of some images. First, he uses image of sea life and says true love is like a sea mark. Sea mark means a lighthouse which cannot be tempest or alter its course. In another sense, Shakespeare says true love is again likened to the pole star, as the pole star never changes its place and position. It always guided the straying ship in the vast sea. As similarly, true love always and never changes position, but it guides humanity and the people who are following it. In this sonnet, poet distinguish the physical side of love from a spiritual side of it. It's a very important thing that Shakespeare make a comparison between a physical side of love to a spiritual side of love. Here also Shakespeare tried to make a supremacy of the theme that spiritual love remains forever. It's a kind of an immortal feeling that will ever remain in this world. The poet personifies time as a reaper with a sickle. Here is the quality of a poet that he personifies the time, the moving of time, the action of time that is reaping with a sickle. As we know that the phrase as we reap, so we as we sow, so we reap. Here also, time suggests that whatever we had given to the others will one day came before us as an a form of action, form of outcome of our uh, relationships. Here, Shakespeare clearly describes that physical beauty fails, but true love cannot fail. Here, we can see that Shakespeare uses metaphors in this sonnet, try to explain things as easily as he can, such as example of a pole star, second one example of a lighthouse. As we see that both of them are helpful to the mariners who are roaming in the vast sea and help their life to attain or achieve their success in their life. In this sonnet, another thing which is very effectively represent its style. It is a typical English sonnet, or we can say that it is a true example of a typical English sonnet. It has three quatrains and a couplet. Its basic theme of the sonnet is love. Here we also find a comparison between physical and a spiritual love, and also showing an implied impact that physical love remains for a little bit of time, but spiritual love remains forever, ever, as the world is remain. The thought process slowly and has its conclusion in the couplet at the end. The quality of the rhyming scheme is as per ABAB, CDCD, EFEF, and last couplet concluding with a similar rhyming scheme GG. As we know, this is the 116th in the series of sonnet, and in this poem, true loves stand for true friendship, and poet describe the nature of true love, which will remain ever in this world. Thanks a lot for listening it, watching it, and I hope you are staying healthy and safe at your home. Please be safe and stay at home. Thank you.